Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel, and we're here at Metro East Community Media. Now we're going to be talking with a couple of people from Elders in Action, an organization that I've had some involvement with in the past and have great respect for. I'd like to introduce you to Brenda Morgan, who's the Development Director,
Hi.
and Bob Mandelson, the President of the Board of Directors for Elders in Action. You folks are everywhere. You do a lot of stuff, and you're in the news a lot, I've found.
Yes.
Give me a little background, if you would, on Elders in Action, what your mission is and what you're all about. Do you want to start, Brenda?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks a lot for that intro. That was great, and it's nice to know that you see us
I do.
in the news
Yes.
and everything. That's really good to know.
Frequently.
Yeah. Our mission is to. Would you like to say what that is? Assure a
Can you
vibrant
recite it
community.
for
I'm trying
us?
to remember.
Assure a vibrant community
Ensure a vibrant community
through the active involvement of older adults.
There you go.
Yes.
And the vision
That was a nice little
is-
collaboration
yeah,
there.
And the vision is life should not depend on your age.
Right.
That's
right.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
We have 4 programs. The Personal Advocate Program is the heart of our organization. That program provides services to people age 60 and over that are having problems in healthcare, housing, crime, fraud, abuse, and most anything really.
Somebody that needs some help being able to deal with those issues.
Right. If they're 60 or over and they live in Washington County, Clackamas, or Multnomah County, they can call us and we'll be able to give them information and referral over the phone, or we'll set them up with a volunteer to resolve the problem with them and for them. And
That's a huge benefit to people.
yes, this year we've helped close to 3,000 people already, and have recouped $300 and some thousand for people
Wow.
already.
Give me an example.
Oh boy, there are a lot of different examples.
I'll do
Let's
one.
see. Go ahead.
I'm a personal advocate, so the referral I got was this woman was not happy with the person that did the gardening in her house, the landscaping. So I went out there, the landscaper came, and the homeowner came, and we sat down. It was really a misunderstanding of what she wanted and what he could do for the figure that he would charge. And she wanted like $3,000 worth of work, but was only willing to pay $1,000. And that does not work.
So sometimes it's just a matter of realistic expectations.
Right.
And so what I did is I put the two together, sort of mediated between the two of them. He was happy in the fact that he did about $1,500 worth of work for his $1,000. She got a better understanding of why he only did the $1,500, not $3,000 for that. What she wanted was $3,000 wasn't realistic.
Right.
And what she got, and so both of them came out winners.
So you really weren't just helping the older
Right.
person, you were helping
The community,
The
as well,
community.
the worker
yeah,
as
the
well.
landscaper there too.
But we also help with medical issues, Social Security, if there's any fraud, which is a terrible, terrible issue, $1 billion a year
I'm sure.
in fraud, and making sure that the elder, 60 and over, gets their due and what they really have asked for.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
I've often felt that in the medical world that children and older adults need advocates
Oh,
because so often
absolutely.
they're not able to or understand how to speak for themselves
Right.
in certain
Yeah.
situations. And that's a huge need.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's what we do?
Yes, we do.
great.
That's what the Personal Advocate Program does. We also have a Speakers Bureau that provides education to the community on a variety of different topics. We received a grant from the Multnomah Bar Foundation, so there are 5 different legal topics that we talk to communities about in partnership with some attorneys that are volunteering their time with us.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and we have an elder-friendly business certification program.
We have your elder-friendly, your directories out in our lobby.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yes, yes.
Great. That's a wonderful program. We're expanding it this year, giving it a lot more attention, and it's been a really valuable service to the community. It educates businesses on how to better serve the older customer, which is basically good service for everybody.
And so you're talking about things like making places accessible, that kind of thing? And
There's a whole list, about 15 pages, that an evaluator walks in anonymously on the business and looks at the aisles. Are they wide? Obstructions? How much light? Physically, how do you get into the building? Are there steps, or is
Ramps
it smooth?
or-
And if you have a walker or wheelchair, and parking. So the business at the end of the evaluation gets a whole report to see how they're doing and how to improve access for elder adults.
So suggestions on things they can
Right.
do
Yes.
to be more accessible. And then
This is a service that they request also.
Yes.
right,
Yes.
right.
A very simple thing is font size.
Ah, yes.
And
And we all know
yeah,
how hard it is to read the.
Right.
the fine
The
print.
older you get, the harder it is
Yeah.
to read the fine print.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Okay, and then what else?
We also have the Elders in Action Commission. So we have the Personal Advocate Program, the Elder Friendly Business Certification Program, our Speakers Bureau, and the Commission, which provides advice to the city and the county on different issues that affect older adults.
Do you work on legislation and that kind of thing too, or do you just mostly give
We
like
give advice.
consulting?
We give advice to the people who make policies
Okay.
for older adults. So
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And you've been with the organization how long now? You've been there a while.
2.5 years. Oh, going on 3 years.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
3 years this fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I probably met you right when you hadn't been there very long. then.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And how about you, Bob?
I retired, and then I wanted something to do, and I got involved in the personal advocate program 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
They asked me to join the board, and then I became vice president. Now I'm
And then
chairman
you
of the
just
board.
moved on up.
Moved on
Top
up.
of the
Yes.
pile now.
Yeah.
Now you've got an event coming up.
Yes.
And I want to hear about that because it sounds fascinating. So give me a little background on this event that's coming up.
Voices of Our Elders is an event that we're doing. It's a fundraising event. It's a program that Bob will be able to give you some inside information about. It's going to be a live performance at the Artist Repertory Theater, May.
That's downtown. Downtown
Yes,
Portland.
15th and Morris. And we partnered with an organization called the Well Arts Institute. They're an organization in Portland. They provided entertainment at Grand Works Northwest last year.
Your big
And
event last year.
that was our large event that we had in May, which is Older Americans Month. And they did a fantastic job of engaging people in Voices of Our Elders, which is a program where they through a workshop that they have, they engage older adults in sharing their life stories. And then they have scribes write down the stories that they share, and then they pair them, the volunteers, with Portland-based actors who then act out in a monologue one of their stories in a performance, and then they kind of choreograph the monologues to be an incredible performance for the
Wow.
public.
Have you seen some of them?
I have, and they are
pretty-
spellbinding.
I bet they
They're
are.
spellbinding.
Are they everything from humorous to moving to, I mean, is
And
it?
everything in between.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's what's good about it is it does bond you in human experience. Yeah.
So, in the Well Arts Institute, did I get the
Yes.
name right? You have had some involvement with that, is that correct?
I had never heard of them until they came and did this workshop. 8 sessions from Well Arts and Elders in Action together. And that's my first introduction to them. But they believe in healing through creativity.
Oh, great concept.
The
Right.
power of storytelling.
And they put on workshops throughout the city for writing and creativity. With Elders in Action, they put us together with these scribes. And for 8 weeks, we met together. And we'd have a topic like meaningful events in your childhood. And you could just uncensored talk, and the scribe would write exactly what you wanted.
Wonderful.
It was fabulous.
I bet it was. How many people were involved in it? How many elders or older adults were involved?
We had 12
12
of our
people?
volunteers participated in it, and there were 12 scribes. The first hour or so of each workshop, there would be a themed art project to help loosen up people's
Yeah.
minds and get people thinking in a different way. And then the second half of the workshop was this storytelling, people sharing their life stories with scribes. And then the scribes would write down everything that the person was saying. And it was incredible what
It was amazing.
what flowed and the transformations that happened between the first week and the 8th week of the workshop. In the beginning of the workshop, a lot of people were a little bit hesitant, not quite sure. Everybody
Maybe
feels
not wanting to
they
divulge
felt,
too much.
even though they wanted to participate, they felt like their lives had been boring and normal and regular, and they didn't think they'd have anything to say. But what from what I've heard from people say about the workshop is that by the end, they really thought about themselves in a different way, they thought about their lives in a different way, and they learned that they really had a lot to offer, and it was life-changing for people who really didn't think that much about their lives.
That's fabulous. I imagine it gives you a little more even self-respect, knowing that, I might have a very interesting life, even though I may not have thought of it that way. Everybody's got an interesting story to tell.
It all boils
Sometimes you just
down
have
to
dig
the
it out.
details. It
Yeah.
boils down to the details and the little things that may go unnoticed until you stop and think about it.
That's amazing. It's like, you hear stories about little kids that, befriend an older adult, and they just think this older adult is fascinating, and the older adult is like, oh my gosh, I have something to share that, they may not have even tapped into before.
Right, and one of the things that I've noticed about the older adults who come into our office is that there's a strong need and interest in understanding their life purpose. They really want to share their story. They really want to know that their life has value and worth. And through this project, many of them, if not all of the people that were involved, really discovered some of that for themselves. At the end of the program, the other gift to the people who participated was that they get a book of all of the stories that they shared. So they'll be, bound books of their artwork and of the stories that they told.
Wonderful.
So they have a legacy to pass on to
their family
their
and
families.
yeah,
Right.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now this event is taking place again.
The 14th and 21st.
So two different days.
two
You can go to
different-
one or the other.
One or the
Yeah,
other.
there are 2 Saturdays in May.
2
o'clock in the afternoon at Artist Repertory Theater.
15th and Morrison.
Right.
Yep.
There's parking, very easy access. You walk in the front doors, and the theater is on the top floor.
An elder-friendly establishment,
Yes.
is it not?
Yes.
Why
Yes,
do I
it
think you may
is.
have checked that out ahead of time?
They were very generous to donate
Yeah,
the space to
that's
us.
great.
Yes. We're going to have some music in the lobby
good.
beforehand. The doors open at 1. So you can come in and enjoy some music. And there's going to be
Nice.
some art for sale. And there'll be, our sponsors will be there. Visiting Angels was one of our main sponsors, so they'll have a table there.
Do you know who else you have sponsoring that event?
There's a couple that are in the works right now that you'll find out when you come to the event.
Good, good. And we can also go to your website, I imagine, and
Right.
find out the
Yes.
information there. Okay, so your website is eldersinaction.org?
Right.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, you have a lot of good things that you're doing.
We do.
So if people want to go to that, they can watch. We'll have the information on our screen, or they
Great.
can go to your website. Other things you might have coming up? Do you have anything else planned, or workshops, or anything like that?
Well, another thing that we're doing, and I think you may have gone to some of these, is the Mastery of Aging Well.
Yes, I've been reading about
Have
that.
you been?
Yes, yes.
Bob?
Oh, this was a great class put on, organized by a woman from OHSU that talks about age.
No, Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Oregon State University.
And I'm trying to remember the different classes, but creativity, eating, medications.
And this is kind of an ongoing series?
It's a class of 5 classes.
There are 5. It's almost like a book group, but instead of books, it's a video, a DVD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you go through one of the classes that focuses on one of those topics, and then there's a discussion group afterwards.
Okay, good. I think I read about it maybe in the Boomer magazine or
Yes,
something.
we are
you're
in there
featured
a
in there a
lot.
lot. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Good.
and I
Yeah.
always read that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
good.
good.
Mastery
Yeah.
of Aging is a class for elders to have more cognizance of their aging process.
Therefore, maybe be able to age better.
More gracefully,
More
I
gracefully,
guess.
I
And be
like
more
that.
aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very good.
Good,
It's
good.
amazing.
Well, we're almost out of time. Anything else I should know?
I want to give a lot of credit to Well Arts Institute
Okay.
for what they've done. This program, Voices of Our Elders, is a miraculous program. I know that they've held Voices of Our Elders with with nurses, with veterans, with not Voices of Our Elders, with kids with diabetes,
Yeah.
but something similar
Yeah.
to Voices of Our Elders for different groups like that, for people
Sounds
that
like
have
a
different
great-
health conditions.
That's a wonderful idea.
It's a
Wonderful.
great
Yeah,
idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yes.
And you need Elders in Action volunteers and donations anytime, I suppose. Am I right?
We're always,
Always looking.
Okay, okay.
And
Well,
tickets, by the way, are $20.
Okay. All right.
And you can buy them online.
okay, well, we're out of time. Thank you both,
Thank you,
Brenda and
Monica.
Bob,
Thank you so much.
And don't go away. We'll be back soon with another segment of Community Hotline. Don't forget to like us on our Facebook page. And if you have questions or comments you want to make for Elders in Action, you can go to our blog and check it out there and leave your comments there. We'll be right back.